Heineken has a new ad out encouraging people to settle their differences over a beer. Let's take a look.
Feminism today is man-hating.
I would describe myself as a feminist, 100%.
You seem quite ambitious and positive, and you got this really, got a glow. Do you know what I'm saying? Your aura's pretty cool.
Please now stand to watch a short film.
Feminism today is definitely an excuse for misandry, man-hating.
You now have a choice. You may go, or you can stay and discuss your differences over a beer.
I want to discuss.
Beer.
Yeah, beer and discuss.
Yeah, shit, now I'm all heartwarmed.
Really?
Thoughts, 5 words or less.
Great episode of Black Mirror.
Real Moment by Heineken.
Kick stereotypes in the Heineken. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Shit.
So good.
I thought that was good.
was
I genuinely thought it was good. No,
I thought
but
it
it
was-
got the like.
That was one of your best for 2017.
So what did we think?
I loved it. I thought, the people were so upset about the Pepsi ad and Kendall Jenner and how to do an ad that was saying something political, that was saying that was trying to drive home a powerful message. I thought this ad was great because you had all these different people from all different walks of life. Beer, the product, was the last thing. It was almost so minimal in comparison to everything else in the commercial.
Right.
And also the way it was awkward for a little bit there because when they revealed their beliefs and thoughts, I thought, oh shit, it's really gonna get crazy.
It is so awkward.
But it was also a myriad of different emotions, Brett, because I, for one, was on, and I'm not a crier. I mean, I have cried here before, I'm sorry. I'm sometimes a crier, but with this commercial, it was heartwarming because the guy, when he said, I'm solemn, I have ups and downs, you were kind of getting a peek and a peer into probably something that's going on in his life, and he wanted to connect. And so by him revealing that about himself, it made me think, wow, maybe he isn't as bad as we think him to be, and come to find out he's not. He's not, or the transgender lady too, I'm a wife. She said, did she say she was a mother?
She's I don't know. She said she's a wife. She's a daughter.
A daughter.
She's a daughter. Grace, what'd you think about it?
You know what I liked about this ad that I think it did well was it was very specific and pointed in its messaging, which is I think what makes for a good advertising campaign. A lot of the problems that people had with Pepsi was it was sort of these broad brushstrokes of join the conversation. What does that mean? What I liked about this Heineken ad was acknowledging that people are feeling divided. But I think that there is a way for people to build community together and have a beer. Why not a Heineken? And that's like a pretty specific way of conveying what their new marketing campaign is. And I thought they did it in a really effective but simple way. They weren't trying to do too much here, but the messaging was clear from the jump. And that's, I think, a strong ad campaign. And I think a lot of people are going to like this.
Yeah, and I thought it was nice to have them just start out doing some task together. Or actually, the first two were next to each other. They put together the stools, and then they put together, so they just essentially were, it's almost when you like introduce like two cats or dogs together, so you make sure that you're in the same room together, you're not really interacting, but just get used to being in the same room together, and then you let them play together.
So it was the icebreaker, and then they say, then it's the bridge building, which was building the actual bar together. Yeah. And I think that it's just such an important message that we can all sort of agree on, which is also good for ad campaigns. Like
just start drinking.
Build a bar.
Just have a bunch of beer.
Yeah, but is more just when you strip everything away, we're all people. We can all find a common ground with even people who we vehemently disagree with. And actually, a relationship that I identified with very strongly is the feminist and the guy who says that he's from the new right at the top of the video. Because I definitely have some friendships where I'm a staunch feminist. I would identify as a social justice warrior. I'm queer, like all of that stuff. Check. And some of my closest friends are really not, like super not. And we can get into discussions, I don't drink, but at a bar, about our disagreements on contemporary feminism and all that stuff. But the friendship at its core, if you have my back, I'm gonna have yours, and just having productive conversations. I thought that this ad campaign did that very effectively in a really short and concise way.
It wasn't short. I thought it was long.
But it's a short film. It feels like a mini doc.
Right, versus feels a commercial.
It feels shorter than the Pepsi ad, though. God, that shit dragged on.
But I think that's, what.
If you can make it through the Pepsi ad, because then it's really short. If you're like, oh, fuck this.
I think that's what we've been trying to say, you know, for the longest time, though, is that people don't always have to agree. We don't always have to share the same values, but we can definitely respect each other and come to a meeting of the minds. And hey, I can stand here, I'm mature enough, and I'm saying me, but in general, I'm mature enough to listen to how you feel about something respectfully, and I may learn something, but people are so afraid of what they don't know. And I mean, clearly the guy, there's the person in the video who spoke to me was also with the feminists. And he wasn't the climate denier. He didn't think that he was against transgender.
The climate denier guy drove me freaking crazy the whole time. Like, you didn't hear anything from the other dude. And also, it does set up that, like, if you deny climate, if you're anti-transgender, and what is the other one? If you are, new right, you're a shithead. Right. And all the other people are really nice. Because the only sound ups they said were things of like, I'm not inclusive of people, and then someone else going, really believe in inclusivity, essentially, right? It was.
Yeah, I mean, I will say.
I guess I do. I agree with all the ones that weren't like shaved head white dudes.
You had to basically, the people on the division was someone that is for something, and then that was their factor, and then someone who is against something, which already makes them seem like a more negative person on its face, because instead of being like, I like this, it wasn't the guy being like, I like this, it was I hate feminism.
Yeah.
And so you're like, oh, this guy is disagreeable. But I think that when we got a feel for their personalities, I didn't feel as though they were purely negative people. Although I agree with you. I think the climate change denier was like a little.
He was the one I did.
He was a lot.
Yeah. It's like the guy, he jumped in over the other guy every time. And all the other.
Always talking over him.
Yeah, all the other dude got to say was
always just say, yeah, just always talking over him.
Really nice. You're nice to hang out with, I guess.
Yeah, and
to be
friends with each other.
It made me feel awkward, especially when they brought out like the clips of
the reveal
before intro videos, when it's just them talking straight to camera, and play that in front of everyone. That made me feel awkward, but what it did is made me feel awkward in the right way.
Yeah.
In a way where it's like, oh, I need to stick around for the resolution to this, because otherwise it's gonna just feel empty. The other thing I would like to see is them after like 7 beers. Just to see if all these breakthroughs still hold. Or if like the trans woman and the guy are just like naked on the table together.
No longer naked. But we know when you call people out on their shit, though, it's funny how the tables turn, though, because they didn't know that was going to happen, so they were being held accountable for how they felt, be it negatively or bad.
Yeah.
Same thing with like comments on YouTube. When people write shit like, "Jason, your face is ugly," and I say, "Hey, thank you so much. I love my ugly face." "Oh my God, you read this comment? I didn't really mean it." Like when you hold people accountable, it's funny how the tables turn and they become vulnerable. They become the one on display, and I think that's what was awkward about the reveal in this video.
Awesome. Well, I think we all enjoyed this. Did you? Let us know, and we'll talk to you later, probably like 7:30 p.m. on a Wednesday.
Yeah.
Bye.